In the quiet village of Alderwick, nestled between low green hills and a winding river, stood a little shop with a crooked wooden sign that read Marrow and Sons, Curiosities and Oddments. The sign swayed even when there was no wind, and people whispered that the shop had been there long before the village itself. Few dared to enter, for its windows were always fogged from the inside, and strange flickering lights could be seen behind the glass at night. But children often pressed their faces to the panes, claiming they saw shelves full of objects that moved even when no one touched them, a music box that played without being wound, masks that blinked, and a jar of ink that rippled like it was alive. One autumn evening, young Clara Ashwell decided to step inside. She had lost her grandmother's silver locket and heard the shop sometimes found things that were lost. The bell above the door gave no sound when she pushed it open. Instead, a hush fell, as if the shop itself were holding its breath. The air smelled of old paper and candle wax. Shelves leaned under the weight of trinkets, bones, and polished stones that passed faintly with light. Behind the counter sat a tall, pale man in a coat the color of dusk. He looked at Clara with eyes as grey as river mist. "You're here for something missing," he said before she could speak. His voice was calm, but it seemed to echo as if spoken in a cathedral. Clara nodded. "My grandmother's locket." The man opened a drawer without looking and pulled out the very locket. Its chain coiled like a serpent. "Things always find their way here," he said, "but every return has a cost." Clara hesitated. What kind of cost? The man's thin lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. "A memory," he said softly. "One you cherish." Clara's heart sank. She thought of summer evenings with her grandmother, of stories told by the fire. But she also thought of how much the locket had meant her. Grandmother's last gift before she passed. She took the locket. Instantly, warmth spread through her hand, and for a moment she smelled lavender and wood smoke, her grandmother's favorite scents. Then, just as quickly, she realized she could no longer recall the sound of her grandmother's laugh. The shopkeeper inclined his head. A fair exchange. Clara left the shop with the locket heavy against her chest. The bell still gave no sound as the door shut behind her, and when she turned back, Marrow and Sons was gone, as if it had never been there. But sometimes, on misty nights, villagers swear they see a crooked wooden sign swinging in the dark waiting for someone else who has lost something they cannot bear to live without.